how do you avoid bad things when doing them is so tempting? Is again another question
Very
from Wahid, and really important question. Even though it might sound really simple, this is really important. Something that we all suffer from, because what is good and bad, even, right? Um, so because that's really now that we've kind of given up on religion largely, especially in London, um, we're really unclear about what that is. So let's just jump. So my brief answer before reading any comments is learn about the effects of bad things. So you're tempted by, let's say, something that looks really good, like, I don't know, I'm gonna look at porn or something, so what's the harm in it? But then when you Google or try to find out the effects of watching porn, how it has on you, is really bad for you. Like, it destroys your creativity, it makes you really aggressive to other people, it has so many bad things about it, right? And like, you probably even feel it, like if you just spend time watching porn, then you finish with it and you look around, it's like, what a waste of my time. Like, it just feels so dumb. Yeah. So
but
you
it can have
feel it after you wasted the time doing it. But go on, what were we going to say?
an opposite effect. Sometimes you want to watch something even worse than that, and then you want to watch worse porn, and even worse than that, and
100%,
then you
because
get
that is one of the documented findings of going to porn, that you watch porn and then it's like, oh, it's not good enough, it's not getting me excited enough, I'm going to go to something more extreme, until you go to like pedophile stuff and really nasty stuff,
and
and
it.
people doing bad things to each other. There's obviously the real people doing it, so they're harming, getting harmed, and whatever. Yeah.
Is
So
there people like that? What hope is? Can they be reversed? Can people like that? Can people like these? How do we save people like that? The solution is to take it down. But why is social
yeah.
media like YouTube and Facebook and
Take
other?
what down? Porn, for example.
Yes, why are
Sure.
they available? Why is social media also destroying society and making these kind of people more and more vulnerable to these kind of acts and more
Okay.
danger
Yeah.
to society?
So I'll tell you the harsh answer, because we want it. We want porn. Porn is popular.
I just
Porn is popular until it becomes really unpopular, so unpopular that most of society said no, no, no. Then it will be, laws will be made and it will be stopped, and it can be stopped by, it can be blocked. Certain websites, you can get the technology to block these things, and people need to take responsibility as well. It's like, yes, you know for a better world, we try to safeguard ourselves from bad things. So like, we try to ban drugs being taken openly, for example, although that's not the solution to solving the drug problem either, but that's another, it's a bit of a complicated one. But you do try to avoid putting bad things right in front of you. So like, say you want to stop eating chocolate, then you don't keep chocolate in your house. This is a well-known way of avoiding it. You make it harder for yourself to fall into your own traps. Okay.
mm,
So same with porn. If you're living by yourself, that's hard to avoid. But if you have TVs, or sorry, like computers or something, in a public space, you make it hard for you to watch porn, because everybody's too embarrassed to watch porn in front of other people, for example. So
yeah,
there's different ways of doing that, but that's not the only way, right? The key way is to like understand the danger of these bad things, because they look, see, the bad things really are tempting because you don't know how bad they are for you. They look just too good, right? All these different bad things, forget porn, it could be anything. Being selfish, they look good, but when you study, you go, "Ooh, there's something really bad about it." I'm going to jump in with a couple of the comments. Um, and I'll try to weave it into the discussion. So there's something about, can human beings live without money? And then all here, so Universal Truth said that, and then all here says, oh yeah, we should end money, and the only reason why money exists is to make sure that the wealthy can hide their political effect over us, And porn, another comment is porn is a multi-billion-pound industry owned by globalists. And then last comment by O'Hare is capitalism owns all aspects of the sex industry. Interesting, a whole bunch of interesting ideas. But my problem with that is, okay, let's go to one after the other, and I'm going to try to tie it into this, because I do want to answer this idea about doing bad things. Okay, so one okay, so one thing that the comments are basically saying is that doing bad things where we are victims, so bad things are happening, we are made to do bad things, we're in an environment where we're made to do bad things. Okay, and we're and one of the methods of that is money, and I disagree with that. Money is just value, and if we didn't have money, we'd have huge problems, because then we'd have to barter instead. Okay, so money is a really easy way for me to buy stuff. For example, if I want to buy carrots, I can just give this token called money. Now, if I don't have money, what I need to do is I need to go to the shop, and go to a shop with something. I'll say, you know what, I obviously there's no money anymore because we for some reason banned money. You can have my keyboard for 20 carrots. And then they go, you know, I don't really like your keyboard. It doesn't look as stylish as, it's not the style that I want. So you basically, you really suffer. There's a really short answer. You really suffer if you didn't have money. So money is a modern invention that's really helpful. We should stop blaming money. We should blame ourselves, because money is really helpful. I think that's logical. Money is just a thing. Now, what you do with it is up to you. Now, I mean, there's a bit of an argument that, you know, money is fake money nowadays. You print as much as you want, and people manipulate it in the stock exchanges and stuff like that, and the powerful manipulate it more. So, but that's about morality. Like, the thing, money itself is not a problem. It's like how it's used. If we don't have money, society will collapse. And I think that's logical. Like, okay, how are you going to go and get your carrots, Wahid? I know you probably don't like carrots. Do you like carrots?
It varies. I would say mostly yes.
You do? All right. I thought you were just out of control with your KFC. That's what I was thinking. That. Okay.
Hey, by the way,
That is true, do you say? Yeah.
I had KFC today, by the way, but yeah.
Oh, no, don't admit to it, man. Don't admit, because then you're gonna have to admit that you had it yesterday as well. Or maybe not.
Hey, no,
No.
no,
Okay.
because there wasn't enough food in the fridge. That's why.
All right. Sure. All right. Okay, but let's say you want your carrots. Yeah.
Yeah.
How are you gonna buy carrots without money?
Well, obviously, you can't. You have two options. The first option is either you don't have it, or you go hungry, or the bad option is steal it.
Okay, so both pretty terrible options, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess money is probably the lesser of the two evils, or the three evils.
Yeah. So I'm not a fan of blaming things for our unhappiness. Happiness is in our minds largely, because we can have lots of things and still be really unhappy. So there's two people with the same amount of things. One is really happy, one is not happy. Obviously, I think logically, that means happiness is about how you see the world. It's up here. It's not here. It's there. Because if two people, in fact, the person with more stuff is often less happy, because they believe more that the things are making them happy, and the people with less stuff often have more people. But anyway, that's another kind of direction. This is a very interesting discussion anyway. So let me just say, what can we do? One is understanding the nature of these bad things. This is my key point. Like, if you know how bad those things that you are being tempted with are in fact, then you won't be tempted by them. Does that make sense, Wahid? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, if these things weren't there, obviously, yeah.
No, it's not about not there. I'm not
Yeah.
saying it's not there. It's like if you knew, okay, look, say there's a deadly snake that goes into a hole. Would you put your hand in that hole?
You probably wouldn't know
No. But a baby might. Do you know why?
because he doesn't know.
He doesn't know that how dangerous it is, right? So you are more smarter. So as you become smarter, then the bad thing or the things that are bad, they look tempting for the people who don't understand. They're intelligent, they haven't studied enough. You
Oh,
study more, then you see how bad those things that you are being tempted with are. It's not whether they're there or not. It's like you don't want them anymore when you realize how bad they are for you.
yeah. But
Yeah,
all kid is just he's going to be tempted to go towards it, and whereas,
yeah, I know. So we have to be
you know,
smarter than the poor kid, right?
yeah,
So
yeah,
that's why I say, for example, so in our metaphor, the pawn, for example, we keep talking about pawn because it's keeping it really simple, right? Pawn is like the snake.
yeah,
Don't go near the pawn. It's like the snake, you'll bite you, it's poisonous, and it is poisonous for your mind.
yeah.
But you
Absolutely.
have to know that. You have to really know that. And then you have to kind of live that as well. You have to really feel it, not just have a theoretical, oh yeah, it's really bad. Like, but it does start with understanding the damage of it. And that is very effective for people. For example, there's this program for quitting smoking. Smoking is bad for you. Everybody knows, right? And there's this program where it says like you can smoke, feel free, but every time you smoke, think of the bad qualities of it and how it tastes, because it tastes like ash. I've never smoked, but it must probably taste like ash, right? So when people think about it, the damage and whatever, they end up stop smoking. Apparently, this is one program that I've heard of. So being aware of the harm is really important. Let me quickly see what else did I say. Yeah. So I would say, how do you become aware of the harm of things? There's so in religion is really powerful in that it tells you a whole list of things that are really good for you and what is bad for you. And it's kind of really important to have those three things because um so why do we go towards porn? It's not just that we're evil and we're just stupid, it's just that we're having something missing in our lives,
Exactly. Exactly.
right? So
People want,
that's why it's valuable to know what's good for you
and
first.
it's not just, people that live on their own. It's people that are even married people as well.
Yes.
That, why?
Right, and because they don't, I mean, I'm gonna talk about that in the next show. I'm talking about sex in the next show, right? And I'm gonna talk about how married people are having bad sex, for example, because of something they haven't thought about correctly in their minds. But that's a whole different, topic there. But yeah, um, what else? Psychologists keep telling us that keep doing yeah, we keep doing the opposite of what makes us happy. I want to summarize with that. We in society are struggling with happiness because we literally do the opposite and because we've been sold by advertising about what makes us happy. And we've been told things make us happy and it's not things. And
Mm,
that's why we find happiness so difficult. And so depression, just so you know, is going through the roof. People think people are happy, people are not happy. Wow.